Hi, folks. It's Chris here, East Coast Water Quality. You probably asked the question, or you're curious, what is the difference in I don't want to say the cheap ROs, but the stuff that's three, four, $500 that you see online or that you see on the Lowe's or Home Depot. And first off, we love Lowe's. We are the exclusive representative for 20 plus Lowe's as their water treatment dealer for their high-end line of equipment, if you will. You have the retail stuff that you can buy off the shelf. It is what it is. It's not meant to last. It has the warranties that it have, 1, 3, and some of them I think you get a 5-year warranty on them. But if I just stay with this drinking system on this video, the biggest difference when you're gonna notice these reverse osmosis units, and really why legit companies do not just go buy the cheap stuff, that's because if we could buy them for that price and put them in and not have service nightmares, we would do it just the same. You typically, when you buy one of the ones that are $300 to $400 to $500, you're going to pay a plumber $600 to $800 to install them. Sometimes more, again, because a lot of them don't drill granite. Even some water filtration companies don't drill granite. Then you're paying extra to get it ran to a fridge, or if they do that type of thing. And look, plumbers are great. What would what would the world be like without plumbers? Bottom line is do they really understand water filtration equipment? No, most of them don't. They can sit there with a manual and do these things. But when you start running into errors and different things with the systems, that's when they're going to have to put their hands up and say, you need to send this back to the manufacturer. Now you're getting charged another time by that plumber, or by us, because we'll even install other people's equipment. If you ask us to, we'll serve you any way we can. We want a new relationship any way we can get one. And we want you to, obviously we think there's other products that you may need down the road, or your neighbors or anybody. We want to serve you any way we can. So with those systems, in that situation where the plumber finds out that the fittings are leaking or something's going on, somebody dropped it. I mean, a lot of products we can't even use UPS and other things because they just get too damaged. By the time they get here, it's too painful to send our technicians out in the field to put our equipment in. When we custom order a piece of equipment, we try to still get it done with a freight. And get it on a pallet. But staying on task here. So that system, he will give it back to you whenever something's going wrong with it. You're going to ship that part back to China or back to California or wherever it came from. And then, yes, it's good that you have the 1-year warranty, the 3-year warranty, the 5-year warranty. But those parts, it couldn't be more than a $15, $20, $30 part off these things. And yes, you got that back, but you didn't get a lot of times the shipping. And then you definitely didn't get the plumber that's coming back out to hopefully find out that that's the only issue that you're having. All right, so that's just something general, but really it's performance, it's wastewater. These are some of the things that you really want to know. When I say performance, a lot of these drinking water systems, they say they make 15, 25, 30 gallons a day, and you're thinking, wow, I don't drink 25, 30 gallons of water a day. That's more than I need. That's just the recovery time. You still probably just have a 2-gallon bladder underneath the sink, where that water, when it comes through that reverse osmosis unit, as it pushes that water through that tight membrane and you get that good clean water on the other end, it goes into that bladder, which pumps it up to your faucet. And then, of course, if we have it ran over to your fridge, it's doing the same thing there. All right, so you say, well, 25 gallons per day, that means it's going to take, a lot of them are 15 gallons per day. Well, let's just say the 20. Some of these things are taking 3 to 4 to 5 hours to refill their tank, because sometimes I've had customers go buy the one-off Lowe's, they call to get the consultation, we go through it, I explain the things I'm explaining to you right now, and then they've gone and went and put that system in anyway, and they don't realize that by the time they go to run an ice maker, and then they have 2 kids, 3 kids, husband, wife, or whoever it is, and all of a sudden they go in the morning and they want to fill up their water. They're trying not to drink out of plastics, and they're trying to fill up all their waters before they leave, and they find out that they can't even get through the first set of people to fill up all their stuff to leave, because they're trying to run an ice maker on a fridge. Somebody's already filled up 32, 40 ounces of water. And now you're waiting 4 or 5 hours for this thing to fill back up. In the meantime, your ice maker is spitting out little pellets. And it's spitting out pellets because it just doesn't get enough pressure to do that. So basically, ours make about 50 gallons per day. You've got about a 2-hour recovery time. Hour and 45 minutes is typically about what you're going to take to refill that entire bladder. They really are going to they can handle an ice maker. They can handle the flow. You can add extra bladders as well. There's lots of different questions. You say, hey, well, I have a huge family. I would like to add. Yes, we can put bladders in crawl spaces. I'm jumping around a little bit right now, but we can put bladders in crawl spaces and garages if we can move. You just got to imagine. I mentioned refrigerators earlier. How do you know if we can run your fridge or not? Well, if you're on a slab, and you have cabinetry that runs from the sink to the fridge, we can definitely run that refrigerator over there, because we're going to have to pop a little hole in the bottom cabinet of each one in the back corner, if that's what you like to do to get it over there. They're fantastic to have. Sometimes, you know, you have that doorway or you're in an island sink, we can't get that to your fridge. There's no way we can do it unless you want to see that line, but we wouldn't do that anyway. So I still say it's highly worth it, because all you have to do is go fill up a nice pretty pitcher, put it in the refrigerator, and at least you have perfect clean water that doesn't have PFAS, doesn't have all the other different things that you have. It's nice if you have the whole home systems. We get this question a lot. We're not going to do that on this video, but you know, drinking out of the whole home systems is still nothing we'd recommend. A lot of times you're just doing an ion exchange with sodium for calcium, magnesium. You're not micro refining that water. So don't ever drink out of anything unless it's reverse osmosis distilled, something that's at least purified to that level. Okay, the last thing I want to touch on in this video, and this is really huge, because some people, they're trying to save that $500, $600, $700 bill than getting it done right and getting it done by a legit company. You don't even hear me saying you have to do one with us, but I still say that if they're a legit company, they've been in business for 10 plus years, they know that they're putting in solid equipment, and not these garage guys or these plumbers that can buy anything online they want. They're not the ones having to honor anything. And we wouldn't put stuff in people's houses that make us drive back there over and over and over again. And they cause all those insurance claims. These little $300, $500 systems you're talking about, when they cause you $50,000, $60,000 of damages because they've leaked underneath your kitchen floor, behind your cabinets, you had no clue what was going on. Saving a few $100 seems like not the best decision at that point. But back to wastewater. This is the rejection water that after we push that water through that membrane and the good water goes in the bladder. Well, the wastewater that got sifted out, that's got to go somewhere. Nobody wants that water, so that goes down the drain. Well, what happens here is a typical solid piece of equipment that you're going to get from most legit companies is going to be a 1-to-1 ratio. So it's going to make 1 gallon of water, put 1 gallon down the drain. These cheap units are 3 and 5. Most of them are 5 gallons. They're going to make 1 gallon of water, put 5 down the drain. So you say, hey, you drink 4 gallons a day of water. I mean, that's 20. What's that, 20 gallons? Sorry, I'm not a math major. 20 gallons a day. You know, so that's 140 gallons a week added to your water bill, times it by the month. Obviously, we're not going to do that on this video. You see the point. When you get into wastewater, that's if that system's even working as it should. But these systems, again, you get what you pay for. They have what's called drain restrictors in them. This is a common, frequent problem. It happens. And people can't figure out why their water bill went up $400 for the month. Well, that reverse osmosis, after it filled up that bladder tank, these cheap little parts, that's one of the things that fouls up, and you don't know it because it's just sitting there. It fills up the bladder, and then it doesn't shut off. It just keeps taking the water and pouring it down the drain. And so it does that all day long. You have no clue it's happening. You can't see it. Every once in a while, you can hear it. But for the most part, you don't know that's happening until it's too late. And then when you finally figure it out, okay, wow, I stopped bleeding. Well, you didn't. You still have to call the plumber to come back and see if he understands why that's happening. He may step outside and call a water filtration company, and they go, hey, do you know why this is happening? And we'll be glad to tell him why it's happening. Then he takes that part when he finally figures out where it is, what it is, and then he's gonna give it back to you. And then you're gonna ship it back to China, back to where it came from. And then, yes, you got that $15 part for free. As they send it back, hopefully it works this time, and that was the only problem you had. Paying the plumber another $300 to come back out, put it back in, hope it doesn't happen again. These are just the quickest version of why I would tell you that, you know, in a lot of cases, what you would pay us we're not going to make much more off of you selling you a legit nice piece of equipment. You're going to spend more. We're probably going to make about the same than if we just go plumb something cheap in for you, but we know the end product that you're going to get is in most cases not going to be what you want. I hope this video helps. Give us a call anytime you want. My name is Chris. You can ask to speak to me if you want more detailed information if you haven't already spoken to me. But good luck with your shopping. Thank you.